Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing and welcome 3rd and James Records recording artist Kayla Ruby to sing tonight's Star Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen,
Right now, it's time for our Match Day All Access, sponsored by Volkswagen, the presenting partner of U.S. Soccer. We go downstairs to Daniel Slayton with USA head coach Jill Ellis.
Jill, it's 2 months out until France. This is your final matchup against a top 10 team in the world. What are you looking for out of your side tonight?
Well, I think things we've been working on, so in our build-up, lots of confidence in our positioning to build out. I think in the final third, we want to obviously continue to get better in our precision, and defensively just reading triggers. I mean, this is a great matchup for us. Going to test us at every level, and that's exactly what we're looking for.
Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
The opposing coach, Ante Milicic, took over an Australia team in a bit of turmoil when they abruptly fired Alan Steic. Milicic will be coaching in his 4th game. He is 3-0-0 in charge of Australia, outscoring opponents 9-1.
Good start for him. I think we're going to see tonight if there's a little wrinkle in the way they want to play. I've watched the past 3 matches they've had. There are nuances where their wingers stay wider. They're more possession-oriented, but they're still incredibly vertical. I think they attack play centrally well, and they get layers underneath.
Karen Apt is our match referee. An all CONCACAF-based crew. Megan Rapinoe will wear captain's armband tonight for the USA in red. In the yellow and green, Sam Kerr, the new captain of Australia. She replaced Claire Polkinghorne as the team captain. That's one of the changes Milicic made right away when he took over. Big test for Abby Dahlkemper. Becky Sauerbrunn, too, in that entire back 4, right, to deal with Sam Kerr.
Yeah, and their movement is fantastic, that front 3. Sam Kerr, in particular, prides herself on her instincts. And it's not just the runs in behind, those back shoulder runs. It's her ability to pop off into midfield. Do they check with her? Do they pressure her? Or do they absorb that next run that's coming in behind? And a lot of questions will be asked of them tonight.
USA in their final huddle before they go out there against Australia. A team that they regularly beat with ease, but the last 3 games, even. It's good to see smiles and hear some laughter in the huddle before this important game.
It'll turn serious.
More responsibility for Sam Kerr wearing the captain's armband. She told us yesterday she's an emotional player, but she dials it down a little bit wearing that C.
And she's the one leading that huddle right now.
A young captain as well. She won't turn 26 till the fall. But she is the face of Australian soccer. Make no mistake about that. That back line has to be together, and Alyssa Nair was leading that communication. We're set for the kickoff in what looks like a sellout crowd here in Colorado as Lindsey Horan and Mallory Pugh return home. On that whistle, we are underway. Played back by Morgan. Long from Dahlkemper, capable of delivering that long ball. Not that time, though. Australia will take it over. Comes into the middle. Wide open is Devanna on the left side. Still maybe the fastest player on the team at age 34. She's going for this ball, cutting inside, and then went down, trying to draw the call, and did not. But the danger of Australia, we see it, Allie, in the first half minute.
Yeah, and it starts with Caitlin Ford popping underneath Kerr. Those two having a fantastic chemistry, and it's something that the U.S. is going to have to sort out. And whether that's Julie Ertz, it's responsible for it. You see Lavelle's the one tracking there, but it's Ford that releases Devanna. Devanna tries to earn that PK. No call, though. Right one.
Good move by Tobin Heath. Trying to go wide. Tobin will lay it off. Sonnet replacing the injured Kelly O'Hara. Good test for Sonnet as she comes through. Played it in front. Cleared away. The U.S. will have their first corner.
Well, both teams going at it early on. U.S. in the final third, a quick combination between Sonnet and Tobin Heath, and a little bit of skill from the right back, Emily Sonnet. Tries to drive that across. Alex Morgan's looking for the cutback. Don't connect.
U.S. went with a short corner. Sonnet cutting it back. Here's Rapinoe. Played it into the middle. That's cleared out. Off the chest of Devanna. So Devanna can start for this team. We're well coming off the bench. Ball is coming back into USA territory. Gathered in by Sauerbrunn. Left side to Crystal Dunn, who told us yesterday, getting more and more comfortable with that left back position. It's no more of an experiment. That job is now hers. Sonnet pushing it back. Dahlkemper. Rapinoe sending it in. Horan cutting. Has help. In front for Morgan. Morgan shot deflected out. Corner, USA, their second.
And it's a bright start for the U.S. Lindsey Horan made that movement into the attacking third before that long ball was played. Megan Rapinoe slips her in, and then Alex Morgan with the cutting run. Takes her touch away from goal. Can't cut it back.
150th cap for Megan Rapinoe to take this corner. To the near post, it bounced. Williams got appeared to be a piece of it. Sonnet will take over. Wide on the right side, it's Rose Lavelle cutting. Lavelle in the box has a good left foot. Headed away, though, by Australia. It's coming back into the box. Morgan was looking for it. Wrong side. Goal kick, Williams. Series history very lopsided in the USA's favor, but as you mentioned, out of the last 3 games, Australia's been able to get a draw and a win against the U.S. Australia's the last team to beat the USA on USA soil, so it's a 28-game home unbeaten streak for the U.S. Lavelle pushing it back for Sonnet. Driving it. Williams off her line. Pushed it away. Looked like it was a catchable ball, but maybe not, as that ball swirled in on her. Very experienced goalkeeper. Plays in the NWSL with Reign FC. Another short USA corner. Done. Floating one up, and that's too far wide for Lindsey Horan. Fox Sports is proud to partner with Girls Inc., a nonprofit organization delivering life-changing programs and experiences that equip girls to overcome serious barriers to grow up strong, smart, and bold. Visit foxsportssupports.com to learn more. Early minutes of this game, USA #1 in the newest FIFA rankings. They stay there. Australia is #6. Over the top, Heath. Flag was up anyway. She's been playing terrific. 7 goals in her last 9 games for Heath, 9 in her last 14, and goals in 2 straight games.
And usually it's with her running at defenders and taking players on 1v1, but in this instance, she was creeping in behind in the long service from Ertz. The U.S. is doing a really nice job of playing longer service, and they're getting that next runner underneath, tracking that ball.
Ball's pushed wide by Australia. Carpenter. She was tackled. Ball goes out. Let's go downstairs to Danielle Slayton, see what she's seeing and hearing by that USA bench. Danielle.
Well, I'm very close to Jill Ellis, and she's communicating to her front line, specifically to Alex Morgan and Megan Rapinoe, to higher press when the ball is at the feet of the Australian defenders.
And they've been pressing in on the goalkeeper as well. I mean, this was something we anticipate from this U.S. side. I think there's mistakes to be had by the back line of Australia, so it doesn't surprise me that they try to sneak in on them. Ilana Kennedy in particular can dwell on it at times.
Rapinoe, as Heath makes a nice run. That would have been a difficult ball, though, for Rapinoe to play all the way across. Here's Dunn. A good stint with Chelsea, now plays in the NWSL with North Carolina Courage, defending NWSL champs. Sonnet, Lavelle. We're told Rose is only going to play 45 minutes tonight, dealing with the tight hamstring. Headed forward. Cleared up. Ford left it. Here's Kerr. Just missed it. Tough to mark Kerr because of the way she moves. She makes those good runs. She'll also play a false nine and will drop back to play make.
And that's part of the reason the U.S. is pressuring so high. It's just to deny that service into her. Right now, Australia can't build out.
Looking at a smaller field tonight at Dick's Sporting Goods Park. 115 yards long by 74 wide. The width stays the same, but this is 5 yards shorter than what the Colorado Rapids play on in Major League Soccer. And the reason they're doing this, they wanted to match the dimensions of the Women's World Cup fields in France. They will all be the same there. Ball is played across, intended for Kerr. Not close enough. Polkinghorn defends. She's their former captain. Oh, the U.S. has some room here with Lavelle in the middle. Heath is wide open on the right. Rapinoe makes a run as well. Australia's able to get back in numbers. Heath across. Lavelle taken away by Ford. Birch was there to make sure that quick counter wasn't on, but they'll go longer. Sam Kerr, look at that speed. Against Sauerbrunn, who played the angle well for Dunn. Ertz. Most valuable player of this team during CONCACAF World Cup qualifying, Julie Ertz. Dahlkemper here in the 8th minute. There's a flip by Morgan, taken away. It's too far. Back for Dunn. Dahlkemper. Off the chest of Heath for Lavelle. Pressure now from Australia's Devanna. Van Egmond. Sonnet being told to go back to Nair, but instead goes short for Dahlkemper. Sauerbrunn.
And look at that front line, JP, of Australia right now. The line of confrontation is 4 players, with Caitlin Ford stepping up alongside Kerr and Yallop, and then you've got on this left side Devanna.
Van Egmond back to defend, knocks it back to goal. Lydia Williams pressured there. That was Lavelle after her. Field for Yallop. Kennedy plays for Orlando in the NWSL. 11 players on this 23 roster for Australia play in the NWSL. For the USA, all 24 players on their roster play for NWSL clubs.
And I think that's where part of the belief, the self-belief, comes in for this Australian side, where they train with these U.S. players, they play against them every week, and they don't fear them as much. Yes, we can talk about the results that Australia's had as a nation, but I think club play in and out has actually benefited Australia more than perhaps people would have imagined.
Drilled by Kennedy. Devanna blocks. Keith. Sonnet. Dahlkemper. Moran's going for it. It was knocked away. Ford up the middle, trying to spin away. Van Egmond, left side. Devana scored 3 goals in her career against the U.S. Devana sends one in, but it's right to Nair. Today's telecast is sponsored by AT&T. What are you thinking, Allie? First 10 minutes, how's it looking?
It's open. It's both teams going for it. I think it's obviously settled in the last minute or so, but I think it's interesting the way that Australia is dealing with the line of confrontation with the U.S. They don't want those entry passes coming centrally.
Heath, tackle away. That was a good play by Simon. The foul goes against the U.S. Australia got here last Thursday. Their first training session was Friday, so they've had several days to deal with the altitude, which could be a problem.
Absolutely will be a problem. I think that benefits Australia over the United States, considering the U.S. just got here. But at the end of the day, I don't think either coach minds. It's going to get their players fitter in the end.
Down that right sideline. Australia nearly ran out of room there. Far and wide, played into the box for Ford. Missed it the first time, gets it the second. Towards the end line, and it's going to be a goal kick. Ford, another one of those NWSL players, plays for Portland. 12th minute, scoreless, USA and Australia.
And Ford looks to be tasked with spying Julie Ertz and not allowing her to be the one to play out. Australia seems content to let the center backs initiate.
Long run there for Lavelle. Better angle for Kennedy, who knocked it out. Good job defending. It's a throw-in, USA. Sonnet from Heath. Heath didn't have much room there. Gets the quick throw in. Morgan wanting to spin away, played it back. Horan, the shot blocked. Horan stays with it. End line, Morgan played it across. Nice hand save made. That was a big one by Williams, and it's cleared out by Australia. Settled by Sonnet. Tillman Heath. 1v1 at the moment. That's blocked. Towards the sideline. Devana did her best. Actually won that. It's going to be a goal kick for Lydia Williams.
One of the things Abby Dahlkemper is so good at is her long-range service. This one finds Lavelle in open space. If you had any questions of whether Lavelle's hamstring is okay or not, she opens it up there. Alana Kennedy, though, makes a nice covering run in behind and slides, goes to ground, wins that.
Sam Kerr trying to track that ball down against Dunn, knocked it away. And it's going to go out for a USA throw-in. Back for Nair. With the exception of the injured Kelly O'Hara with Sonnet in her place, this could be, I say could be, the starting 11 for this U.S. team, that first game in the World Cup in France.
Certainly looks that way with the selection process that Jill's been going through.
A run on that side, no foul given. Morgan running, looking for 100. She's got it! Seventh player to do it in U.S. women's national team history.
And it's an absolute stunning one. I mean, it's individual work rate. First, she just bodies off Claire Polkinghorn. She goes to ground, and then the shimmy shake to send Kennedy the wrong way. And at that point, she can either slot it near post, she opts to open up, and bend that far. What a beauty.
Back to live action. Australia with numbers in the box for Kerr. uncharacteristic miss for Sam Kerr.
This is one for Alex Morgan to remember, and not just because it is the 100th, but because of the individual effort that it took to get here. She drives at that front leg of Elana Kennedy and cuts across it. The strength, first of all, to just body off Polkinghorne, and now she's trying to control the ball. Cuts it against the momentum of Kennedy, who's trying to slide it across, and then ripples that net.
Brought down on the right side by Morgan, her 27th goal in her last 32 games, and this one's not even complete yet. And when Alex Morgan has scored a goal for the USA, she's done it in 69 games. They have never lost. 59 wins, 10 draws.
If I'm on Team USA, I'm saying just pass Alex the ball.
Yeah. How does that goal open things up now, Alec?
Well, I think it was open anyways, but at this point...
Open it up more then.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think either team is holding back. Let's put it that way. I think they want to impose their will on the other. We talked about the psychological implications that are on the line tonight.
And ironically, Kerr could have got an equalizer moments later. Long from Dahlkemper, so it's a 1-0 USA lead. Brought down by Rapinoe. Megan cutting and line. Earns the USA's 4th corner kick.
That matchup between Rapinoe and Carpenter, who was just in your screen, is one to watch tonight. Rapinoe loves going at her 1v1, and Carpenter, the young defender, has to deal with it.
It's one of the targets in all these corners, driven by Rapinoe, punched away by Lydia Williams. 5th corner for the U.S. Rapinoe will take another. Horan is another available target, as are others for the USA. They're making runs now. Into the middle, it's cleared. Rapinoe will get it back for Dunn. It's an offside. Here in the 18th minute, Alex Morgan with the game's only goal, unassisted in the 15th minute, her 100th international goal.
She just continues to write her name in the history books. And I'll tell you, this is one that is going to be an indelible vision for her going into that World Cup. Go against this back line right there. You're up against the goalkeeper. You have 2 options to make. She goes far.
Be a throw in here for the USA with this lead over Australia. These last 3 games, low scoring games too, between these 2 nations. Pushed back by Rapinoe, who led the team in assists last year. Done. Got away from the pressure. Rapinoe trying to switch it. Heath kept it in. Dahlkemper. Touch pass for Heath. Another long ball from Dahlkemper, and the offside flag goes up. It was intended for Morgan. Let's go downstairs to Danielle Slate and see what she's picking up from the other bench, Australia. Danielle.
Well, Ali, you've been talking about the matchup between Megan Rapinoe and Carpenter, but Ante Milicic has been communicating with his staff about how they are managing the left side of defense. He's talking about Gemma Simon. Can she get tighter pressure onto the ball? When does Lisa Devanna need to track back in defense? And there seems to be a lot of confusion as they're trying to manage Tobin Heath and the pressure coming up this right side.
It was just the 11th cap for Simon. She's a relatively young, new face to this squad. But when you look at the way the U.S. is getting at Australia, it's really been penetrating centrally. It's been with diagonal balls. It's interesting that he's so concerned with this left side, or his left side, the U.S. right.
Benigman, wide left, Devanna bringing it down versus Sonnet, who won that 1v1 battle. Dahlkemper, pressured by Ford. Sonnet, this good release pass for Heath. Under pressure. She does well with that.
Dahlkemper had looked up. Julie Ertz was actually trying to expose the very space that Simon had left.
Nice idea from Horan, but that ball curled away from Rapinoe. quick apology from Moran. Right idea, just had too much on it. She's a Colorado kid returning home, as we said earlier, along with Mallory Pugh. So she has her youth club here in attendance. Family members too. Simon for Kennedy. Difference in the game, the Alex Morgan goal. Career number 100 in USA colors.
And you can see from Australia, JP, that they're shading up Carpenter on that right side more. Simon stays home, so it looks like a 3-back in the attack. Ford sits underneath Kennedy. Excuse me, Kerr.
Kellen Knight on the ball, lifting it right. Carpenter high up on that right side. Lifting it in. Oh, it's punched away by Nair. The target was Kerr. Keeping away there by Horan. Van Egmond. Carpenter was calling for it. Open on the right, drilling it up for Kerr. Nair grabs it in front of her NWSL teammate. Sam Curry both play for the Chicago Red Stars. Listen there, the #1 goalkeeper for the U.S. This is going to be her first major international tournament. As people were saying on our studio earlier, it was either Hope Solo or Brian Ascori for so many years.
But they both had a first international tournament, if you will.
Yep. Horan for Rapinoe. Dropped off for Lindsey Horan. Cross for Lavelle. Morgan way out, sending one up there. Knotted down for Heath. Slipped, it looked like. She made a run. But that was a little different look with Morgan on this right side and Heath moving into the middle. And
it's because of the man-to-man tendencies of this Australian defense. So Kennedy tracks Morgan all the way out, and we've seen the dangerous run from Lindsey Horan sneaking out of midfield in behind. I think that's the most potent threat the U.S. has had.
Ford will send it the other way. Dunn. Ball stayed in play. Bounces away, though, from Megan Rapinoe. Pushed all the way back by Polkinghorne for Williams. Van Egmond. Kennedy. Simon. Her cousin Kaya injured currently, but Kaya hopes to be making Australia's Women's World Cup squad in France. Australia had a few players out due to injury. Lifted. That's Savannah coming in late. And coming out late was there, but she got it. And rolls it ahead for Lavelle. Off Heath. Tobin gets it back for Horan. Rapinoe held up on a run. Flag goes up. Megan did her best to stay onside.
There's just so much space in behind this Australian back line. The default is to not cut it close. If you're Rapinoe, if you're Morgan, if you're Heath, you're going to get there first. They're stepping. They're actually not even reading it. They weren't dropping at that point.
24th minute, U.S. leads 1-0 on a goal by Alex Morgan, her 100th international goal. Van Egmond. This game coming up, DC United versus LAFC Saturday. Two teams that look like powerhouse teams in the early going. Wayne Rooney versus Carlos Vela Saturday.
What, San Jose is not up there? San Jose is not one of the powerhouse teams?
No. I have to watch that game. Rob Stone and Alexi Lalas will be in the stands during the pregame, in with the supporter section at Audi Field. Great place, by the way, if you've never been to a game there. New stadium opened up last year. Van Egmond. She's been dropping back a little bit. Told us yesterday she likes to play a little bit higher up the field, but for right now anyway, a bit lower.
Well, in this system, which is something Milicic has not employed in his first 3 matches, they're actually in a 4-2-3-1. So she's naturally in a lower starting position. Under him, she had been playing higher.
Savannah blocked. And Lavelle just lost it between the benches. It's a Savannah throw-in, and now she'll give it up to a teammate. Simon Women's throw-in. Kept it in. That's off LaBelle. Out. Should be another Australia throw-in from between the benches for Simon. Club team Newcastle Jets. A lot of these players we mentioned play in NWSL, but a lot of them also play in Australia in the W League. Some play for both as their seasons don't overlap. Australia just gives that one away.
Yeah, that's where the U.S. wants to win it, in these wide areas. They're trying to lock them in, and Australia's having difficulty just changing the point.
Dahlkemper, Sauerbrunn has done wide open on the left, finds her. Gallup slides over the top, deflected by Morgan. Rapinoe in the box, right to Williams. Rapinoe comes back. Good hustle from Rapinoe to slow down a potential break.
That's something the U.S. was likely aware of, because when typically Williams gets the ball in her hands, everyone sprints forward from Australia, at least gets 3 runners on the back line. That time they were slow to react, so she had to roll it out to Carpenter in that situation.
Devanna tackled away. First time she tried the middle. Caitlin Ford on it. Broken up by LaBelle. Heath. Horan. Lindsey Horan back after missing the She Believes Cup with a quad injury. The team definitely missed her.
And not just offensively. I mean, we're seeing her runs out of midfield, but watch the way she's sliding across defensively and helping protect that back line.
Dahlkemper, look at Kerr. Good pressure. Forcing Sonnet to release it early. Australia got it back, but it was a foul.
The U.S. has looked pretty strong defensively in the early goings here, and this is one of the crunching tackles that Julie Ertz likes to supply. She goes to ground, wins it, and off the U.S. goes in the other direction.
Just a short conversation between Ertz and Dahlkemper.
You see Ertz do that a lot, where she's instructing her teammates on where to be, and she is clearly one of the leaders in this squad.
Ertz pushing it ahead to Horan. Dunn. Sauerbrunn. For Rapinoe. Australia will get the first and second ball there. Up the middle, Van Egmond. Carpenter. Kerr. Nice ball. Ford was wide open. Here's the counter for Australia. Caitlin Ford leading it. Lisa Devanna inside the box. Devanna fires it, and Devanna scores. It's tied at 1. Her 4th goal against the United States. Just like that, Ali on the counter.
Well, what did Lindsey Horan say in the pregame? What did Jill Ellis tell us yesterday? They have to be wary of the Australian transition game. Well, they feasted in this moment. It was one of the first times we've actually seen Kerr pop off that back line and come to feet. So they overload the center of midfield. Now you've got Ford and Kerr against Julie Ertz. She can't stop that pass that slides across. And now you're in open space if you're Caitlin Ford. They drag the defenders to her before she releases it. Watch Sonnet's movement. She's trying to shape up her body so she can close down on that pass, but she's just too far central. There's no one making a central run in behind the center back. She's got to shade herself towards Devanna in that patient positioning, and then she just rifles that one. Someone likes this matchup.
We're seeing this pattern that we saw in the She Believes Cup, right? U.S. would get a lead, but then opponent comes back.
Look, in transition, your goal is to slow it down. In that case, Julie Ertz, perhaps she can drop off, and that pass, maybe then it doesn't come as quickly from Kerr into Ford. Those are answers we won't know, but those are the things that you have to think about when you're in their center midfield, and really, there's not much you can do. How do you slow it down? And then if you're that back line, how do you absorb the runs? You have to take your looks and know what's the most potent threat in that moment.
Van Egmond overshot Yallop. Carpenter was close to it too. That's a big confidence goal for Devana and for Australia. We talked before about the no fear. They respect the USA immensely, but they don't fear anyone. They just worry about themselves. Australia is the last team to beat the USA on home soil. USA players and fans remember that for sure. 1-0 game in Seattle, 2017. Since then, 28 games unbeaten at home. Kennedy. Polkinghorne will go back to Williams. 30-year-old goalkeeper will ping it left. Simon. Kennedy. Polkinghorne as the USA shifts defensively. Yallop pushing it back. Wide for Devana. Sonic did well that time. Better touch from Devana, and she had that whole sideline.
And it was because the U.S. was trying to pin in Australia on that far side, and they broke the press with one diagonal ball to this weak side.
It's tackled away by Horan. Good job. There's Morgan's touch. Heath somewhat free here. End line. Heath kept it in, played it back, save off Williams, and then cleared. Cleared off the line. Looked like the U.S. had their second goal. Is it Carpenter?
It was.
Saved the day. She's only 18, plays for Portland, made her pro debut at 15.
And she comes up big in this moment. It's a quick 1-2 with Heath and Morgan. Now Tobin Heath has open space. She's trying to find the angle. What does Rapinoe want? Where does she want it? But then the angle closes down, so then she has to stutter step. Try to find her again. It was closed down. Williams almost spills that into the back of her net. But that's what you want out of your defender. You assume the worst, and she pounces on it.
That's a big play for anyone, much less a teenager.
That's relationship building between your back line and your goalkeeper.
Van Egmond. Devana. Her goal tied it for Australia. An inviting ball in for Kerr. Well, she's had two pretty good looks here, especially for a goal scorer like Sam Kerr. She knows that.
This is a fantastic ball from Devana, the way she dived that into space. I mean, it was driven, but it could only end up at one point. That was with Sam Kerr. She's wide open out here, by the way, JP. No one can close her down. Sonnet's too patient there. And that ball just rifled across the back line in such a way, though, that a runner can get onto it. It's just a rifled, faded ball.
Rapinoe, left sideline. Cutting. Right-footed pass in. He's looking for Heath. Lavelle after it. Horan drives it. Tipped by Williams. Corner, U.S. Big save. One from her and one by Carpenter before that.
Big save and busy night. This ball just pops up. And then it lands at the feet of Lindsey Horan. She's got time to take a touch. Important tip there.
This U.S. corner from Rapinoe near post. It's flicked beyond goal, but deflected last by Australia.
And they keep testing that area of Australia. They're reining this ball in on Williams. Really crowding the box.
Rapinoe changes it up with that ball back. Australia couldn't find it. Lavelle was shot, pushed away by Williams. Another corner. Australia should have had the counter going there, but they misplayed it. Now they must defend. Rapinoe drives it. Too far. Moran was the closest target.
And that last corner was so smart by the U.S. because Australia goes man-to-man defensively on these corner kicks, so they dragged everyone inside with numbers, and then the U.S. left someone high.
36th minute, good game, as we expected, competitive, 1-1. Would have had more goals were it not for some big defensive plays on the Australia side. Rapinoe cutting it in, wanted Morgan, that's blocked. Deflected away, cleared by Kellen Knight, settled by Dunn. Dunn back from Lavelle. Horan. Dunn goes back into the USA half. Sauerbrunn for Dahlkemper. Ertz pushing it Tobin Heath's side. Sonnet. Dahlkemper. Long one in for Morgan. Didn't get there. Dunn should pick it up, but the flag was up again. 6th time U.S. has been called for offside in this game.
And that's not such a bad thing because they're trying to test that back line, and it's going to continue to soften up, or they're going to be in.
Let's push back towards Rams, another offside.
This was not a good offside.
No.
There's a difference.
Alex Morgan, her 100th international goal was scored in the 15th minute. All Alex, unassisted. She did all the work, got the reward for it. Goes into the USA record book. It's the 7th player to hit that mark. Van Egmond slowed down. Kennedy. Kellen Knight. Van Egmond. Carpenter.
Milicic didn't look happy by that decision by Van Egmond. I think she went back into the pressure of the United States. She could have spun and found this weak side here with Devana.
That's chasing. It's dangerous back for Kennedy. Williams wanted Devana. Lavelle pulling it away from that pressure. Curls it in with the left foot. Taken away. Van Egmond. Devana. Trying to beat 2. No foul given. Australia got it back anyway. Van Egmond, head up, looking long. Kerr was calling for it. Look at this from Kerr. The shot is deflected. Sam Kerr with some amazing work there. Shows you the skill and why she's so dangerous.
And she can be quiet for long spells and then spring into action. Here she's just running between the 2 center backs. The agility to cut that ball back across Becky Sauerbrunn and then get that shot off. She's one of the most athletic players I've seen in the women's game. You can see the explosiveness here and then having to adjust to that ball. The quickness then to explode away. Good recovery by Dahlkemper, though.
Corner from Van Egmond. Playing it back. Given away. Cleared by Carpenter. Ball pinged the other way, and it's going to go out of play. We always talk about the great runs that Alex Morgan makes. Sam Kerr's in that same category with the runs that she makes. And yesterday, Van Egmond was telling us her movement is so great, she moves just before the ball is played.
She's just sly. She's got a sixth sense about her, and I haven't seen it in any other women's player. The timing of her runs, fantastic, and she's developed, I think, her back-to-goal presence.
This could be big for her. She was injured before the last Women's World Cup. Played it, but was not the same player. She was not 100%. She and Morgan could be big stars this summer in France. That's got to be called there. Free kick for Australia from a pretty good spot, but the concern right now is for Horan, who's down. Just back from the quad injury. And a big part of this team. A lot of people have said, you know, who the U.S. might miss more. Some have said Morgan if something happened there. Some have said Ertz. Some have said Lindsey Horan.
I think you consider all three of them irreplaceable for this side. What Lindsey Horan is done for this team in the center of midfield is her ability to dictate tempo, and something they were missing in She Believes, I think, more than the tempo piece, was those runs out of midfield.
Yeah, she does so much for the team, both sides of the ball, really. Her chemistry in that midfield, too. Helps keep that group together. That was a thumbs up for the training staff, so we'll take that as a positive sign. She told us yesterday she's 100%, but we were told she may not get more than 60 minutes tonight.
And it's smart to manage her minutes coming back from injury.
Slow walk to the sideline for Lindsey Horan. Late stages of this first half. The U.S. will be down a player. Probably not for long.
And Carpenter's alone on that far side if they opt to play it wide and look for a resurface across the frame.
This is beyond 30 yards out, dead center pretty much. Kennedy is the deep one. She'll take it and puts that one over Alyssa Nair.
I think they should have gone with my suggestion.
Would have been better than that, right? 43rd minute, 1-1 game. USA and Australia. Might be just a friendly, but it's the biggest game of the year for these two nations. It's the best opponent that the U.S. is going to face before they go to France. Where Morgan was playing just now. Kemper sending it across for Dunn. 43rd minute, USA 1, Australia 1. Lavelle with Rapinoe. Nice flick back. Here's Lavelle beating one into the box, keeping it in line, cuts it back. Not enough on it, cleared away by Australia. It's looking promising. Dunn into the box, blocked. Second ball. Heath with a swing and a miss. Lavelle, just a miss. One of the greatest goalkeepers to ever play for the U.S. national team, Tim Howard, who is now playing his last year with the Colorado Rapids. In attendance tonight. This is his stadium.
And looking sharp.
Good to see him, as always. He's given us so many great memories over the years. USA fans, who could forget that game against Belgium 2014. Van Egmond. Played back by Simon. Final minute here. See about stoppage time. Polkinghorn. Van Egmond. Kept on the deck. Broken up initially by Dunn. Lavelle. Horan. That was a good run to stay on side for Tobin Heath. Catching it. Heath beating Kennedy. End line. Heath just missing. That was a very steep angle. Didn't look possible from that angle, but she almost scored.
this run that initiated it was so good by Tobin Heath. And then she gets into open space with that first touch by Kennedy. How about the cheekiness to try that one? She knows the goalkeeper's going to go to ground trying to protect her near post, just opting to lift it over. Can't tuck it in that far post.
A for effort for Tobin Heath.
I think she wants a G for goal.
Sonnet. 1 minute was added here at stoppage time. From the halfway line, Del Kemper. Kellen Knight's pass for Ford. Ertz. Tough defending there, but Australia ends up with the ball. Seconds left in this half. Maybe one final dash there for Carpenter and company. It's broken up. Here's Dunn. That's blocked going out. That should be it. That is it. First half has come to a close. Exciting. Kerr had some chances but could not connect. Alex Morgan with a 100th international goal. That's the big one tonight. DeBenna also scored for Australia to tie it up. When we come back, John, Alexi, Leslie, and Christy talk about all kinds of things at halftime.
With no choice but to move back home after college, they thought he'd be a little more motivated to find a job. Turns out, they were right. Upload your resume on Indeed.
Hello, folks. What floor?
Oh, we're car shopping.
Ah, you're going down. Way down. This floor, root canal.
Oh, this is bad.
This floor, the top.
Your body's changing. My body changed. Even Grandma's body.
Car shopping, off you go.
No, sorry, we're getting a Hyundai.
Yeah, we used Shopper Assurance.
Hyundai, going up.
Hyundai Shopper Assurance. Transparent pricing, streamlined purchase, a 3-day worry-free exchange, and test drives that come to you.
Not so fast, Captain Colin. Back it up.
It's car shopping made better.
Lift away itch, flakes, and doubt. Stay headstrong with Head & Shoulders.
This is a large 3-topping pizza from Domino's. You can carry one out for $7.99 every day. This is a 3-topping handmade pan pizza from Domino's, and now you can also carry one out for $7.99 every day. This is a logo from Domino's, and this is the end of the commercial from Domino's.
iPhone XR?
With the amazing liquid retina display.
Is it true that you wear a wig?
Could a wig do this?
You make me train longer.
Drags it back and a shot and a goal for the United States for Carly Lloyd.
You make me try harder.
You make me dream bigger.
And when something's in my way, you make me push through it.
Lethal in front of goal.
You make me see the person I want to be.
You know that expensive watch you always wanted? It only cost a fraction of the price to make.
We thought that was crazy, so we made our own watch company.
We created unique watch designs, launched online at fair prices, developed new styles, shipped to over 160 countries around the world, and created a community. Now, you don't have to overpay for a nice watch.
Instead, join the movement.
Shop now at mvmt.com.
Hi, I'm Jesse. And I'm Ben. We started Hubble because contact lenses are too expensive. At Hubble, our fresh daily contacts are affordable and delivered straight to you. Get your first 2 weeks free at HubbleContacts.com.
When you rent a car on Turo, you're renting from a real person. No shuttle rides, no waiting in line, and no wandering a car lot. This is better than your typical car rental. This is Turo. Download the app today.
Just over 2 months away from the opening of the World Cup in France, 4 days after France plays South Korea in the opening match. The U.S. will open up the defense of their title from 4 years ago against Thailand. As our halftime report here from Denver is sponsored by AT&T. So a good game, nothing less than we would expect between two members of FIFA's top 10 of the rankings, one apiece between the U.S. and Australia. Let's take a look at the first half highlights they actually seen so far. We talked coming in about Alex Morgan sitting on 99 international goals. Might have come here as Lindsey Horan, the Denver native, set it up and it was blocked. But a few minutes later, Leslie, we would see Morgan reach that significant milestone.
Yeah, and we talked about Alex Morgan having the advantage over Polkinghorne and her speed. But here, it's just individual brilliance. Look at her. She beats Kennedy, Polkinghorne. This is an amazing goal, an amazing milestone for Alex. What she's done in her career, the type of goals she scored for this team, how she's evolved as a player. This is what you want from your veteran, from your captain heading into France. She is so confident and on fire, and this is such a fitting game for her to get her 100.
And yet, Alexi, the lead for the U.S. would last only about 15 minutes.
Yeah, we talked about the defense in the pre-game, and here you see her. You're up against a world-class striker, and Savannah just puts it away. Sana overcommits. She covers in, and she doesn't even put pressure, and allows Savannah to have too much space and time, and she just finishes it.
Way too much space and time with that big left foot there. Interesting course selected there by Sonnet on the defense. But you know what? The U.S. came back. They had their opportunities, all sorts of time and space. Tobin Heath right on the doorstep here. Cleared off the line there by Carpenter. Could have been, should have been, would have been, wasn't.
So Alex Morgan, one of 7 Americans now with 100 international goals, drawing level with the great Tiffany Milbert now, all in chase of record international goal scorer Abby Wambach. We talk coming in again, this idea of how good Australia is, and Christy, how much of this is Australia being good attacking wise? How much of this is some of the concerns you had coming in about the U.S. defense?
It's about the back four working and committing together. Individually, they're great defenders, but collectively, they're struggling. Their spacing, their timing, their footwork. We need to be better. They need to have better chemistry and connected, but you are going up against 3 world-class strikers, and it's going to be tough, but this is the challenge. You're in a World Cup. In a World Cup year, they got to perform on the big stage.
And we talked about this being a game in transition, how fast and strong and powerful and attacking personalities, but Sam Kerr is a player that can pop off that line. Here she has that little window of space and how quickly she can turn and whip this ball in, and Alyssa Nair coming up big on that one.
I don't think that this is a good Australia team in the way that they are playing tonight. They are giving all sorts of time and space for the U.S. to just hit the long balls. But the U.S., you've been given a gift. You're not taking it. You have all these opportunities. The space for Tobin Heath, for Alex Morgan, for Megan Rapinoe up top, and the time that the back four has to hit those long balls into space, that's fine. Of course, if you get Devana over there on that left-hand side, that type of opportunity to shoot, she's going to put it in the upper 90 right there. But this should be a game that the U.S. wins by multiple goals.
Well, Jill Ellis said yesterday this is the type of test that was good for us. We'll see what she thinks about it when this thing is done. One apiece between the U.S. and Australia in front of a sellout crowd tonight here outside Denver.
The USA was leading 1-0, Allie, until this happened.
Yeah, and we talk about the importance of the second ball in transition-type matches. Well, the U.S. doesn't pick it up. Australia doesn't. Look at how far the back line is dropping initially. That creates the space. Then Julie Ertz is isolated, and she gets taken out of the play with one pass. She hurries up the play, which you can't do. You've got to slow it down, and then Sonic gets everything wrong in her positioning there. You know what she's trying to do because she knows where that ball is going, but I don't know why she's worried about protecting the space between herself and the center back. There's no threat there.
Sam Mewis, we're hearing, is going to be coming into the game, replacing, we believe, Rose Lavelle, since they told us that Rose Lavelle would only go 45 minutes. And US is a different type player, certainly, than Lavelle.
And can be incredibly useful in this type of match, I think, because we've seen the success of runs coming out of midfield. US is good with those moments. I think we didn't see much of Rose Lavelle in that first half. And if there's one thing the US can do better, the Australians giving them that long service, it's maybe getting that layer, the second layer underneath to make the run in behind, and not just your front three, because they've been offside time and time again. You don't have to cut it so close if you're coming from a deeper position.
That is the only change that we see for either side. Australia in their final huddle. Saw the US have some big moments in the She Believes Cup. If you missed it, Alex Morgan already had that 100th goal. Could she get 101 tonight or more? Just joining us, USA in the red with the blue trim, Australia in the yellow and green. It's been a good first half. Let's see what the second half brings. Caitlin Ford on it. Sending it wide right. Carpenter saved the ball off the line. Otherwise, the USA is up in this game. Kennedy. And that's going to go out of play. The US outshot Australia 9-5, 5-1 shots on goal, and 8-1 was the edge on corner kicks. The US was offside 7 times. It's kind of uncharacteristic for them in a half.
So many of their opponents fear their pacing behind, that they constantly are dropping and absorbing that space. Not Australia.
Solid throw in. It's back into the USA's half. Dahlkemper finding Becky Sauerbrunn. 7th year for her coming up in the NWSL. Squared to Dahlkemper, just outside USA's penalty area. Australia back on the ball. Carpenter. Away by Rapinoe and then done. Now it's going to go out of play. Now, what might change here in the second half for these two teams?
Well, I think with Mewis, the profile of your midfield completely changes. And you can see right there, even just a darting run forward.
Lutz picks it up and looks the other way, but that's blocked. Up the middle. Here's Kerr. Laid off. Ford has options. Devanna was open on the left. Ford into the box. Ford's low shot, and she scores. That's all on her own. And Australia takes the lead 2-1 over the U.S. Up the middle, she went.
As so many of the opponents of the United States have done this season, or this year, I should say. Right down the gauntlet. It's Kellen Knight who's on it. Ford just pulling away, creating a little space there. Julie Ertz tries to pick it off and play a thread to pass into Alex Morgan, but it's Kennedy who steps up, continues her run forward. Ford spins out. Mewis slips. It's unfortunate. And then she just uses Dahlkemper's body position to shield Alyssa Nair, so Nair doesn't have line of sight to it and bends it around her, tucks it into that far post. It's a great finish by Ford. And that's why Nair goes to ground so late. I think it's the body positioning of Dahlkemper doesn't allow her to see it.
Caitlin Ford's 16th international goal, and it comes early in the second half. Right out of the gates, Australia is on top. Free kick for Megan Rapinoe. As the U.S. tries to get themselves level into the box, that's cleared out. Heath went forward, knocked it away. Wide for Rapinoe. And Rapinoe's going to get called for that foul. And a yellow card on Megan Rapinoe.
It looked like the hand went to the face of Yallop, and they're not going to allow Australia to play quickly there after the card. A little bit of frustration. She didn't get in her face, though. It was high in the neck.
This is tough for the U.S. You come out of the locker room, you just had the pep talk, and you concede just a couple of minutes into the half.
And one of the things we talk about with this U.S. side is game management. Well, this is a big 5 moment, the first 5 minutes in a second half, and they've been susceptible in these times. A lot of times that comes down to focus.
Polkinghorne. Van Egmond. Clipped ahead. It was intended for Kerr. And the ball is going to be cleared out. Belongs to Australia. The U.S. conceded some goals in the She Believes Cup, but they thought that they were presence maybe to the opponents, that they were giving the ball away needlessly. These are two terrific goals tonight that Australia has scored. Here's done on it.
But you could argue some poor defensive moments for the United States.
No, you could do that for sure.
They've been soft in their pressure when they've been backed into positions, interestingly enough. They're looking to squeeze the game and keep things tight. But then when they're confronted 1v1, they're backing off.
Ball was back inside the circle. I think of some concern, though. The U.S. has now conceded 2 goals each in 3 of the last 4 games. Multiple goals in 4 of 6. Ball played across, pushed away by Kennedy. That's unlike the U.S. Remember last year, at the end of the year, with 9 shutouts in their last 10 games, only 1 goal conceded.
That is one of the concerns. Usually at this point, heading into a World Cup, we talk about lack of final third production. This is uncharted territory.
Sonnet. Still a long way to go in this one. We may have not seen the last of the goals for either side here in the 51st minute. Sauerbrunn. Crystal Dunn. Was given away right at the middle.
And second ball and third ball picked up by Australia.
Ford was looking for that. Drew the foul. That was a nice touch from Kerr to find Ford.
Milicic is starting to understand, I think, the profile of his players and the recognition that Ford and Kerr work so well together. Having her sit underneath Kerr against this system is working well for them in the break.
Australia has scored twice. Sam Kerr has not been involved, at least in terms of the finished product. She's missed on a couple of chances, but her team is up 2-1.
She has never scored against the United States.
Ball driven. Almost handled there. It was off Polkinghorne. The U.S. will have a throw in. Rapinoe will take it. 12 assists for her last year, 7 of them off of Alex Morgan goals. Speaking of Alex, playing it in front, just got wide. He made that run up the middle. Morgan was serving there as the playmaker, not the finisher. Lifted in. Rapinoe touching it down, drives it across. Too much of that. Settle there, Sonnet outside of the box, playing it back post. And it's an equalizing goal. Tobin Heath goals in 3 straight games, 2-2.
Well, this game had the feeling that there were more goals in it. It's Sam Mewis who picks up the ball on that far side. And the brilliant service across into Megan Rapinoe. Then she's trying to connect with Tobin Heath, but Tobin Heath doesn't disengage. She recognizes that Sonnet, the right back, is pushed all the way in and just is patient on the ball that's coming in so she can react. This is the first ball from Mewis. Rapinoe's trying to find her counterpart on the opposite side of Heath, who's actually floated in onto the opposite side. And then drifts in and rifles that one near post. Williams can't make a reaction save. It happens too quick.
Game on again for Tobin Heath. 8th goal in the last 10 games in USA colors. That equalizer came about 6 minutes after Australia scored to go ahead for the first time tonight. Carpenter up the right side. With the game alley being so wide open and so much time left, I don't think it's going to end 2-2.
I think it's just a treat for all of us.
Throw in for Dunn. Getting to it, no foul given, but the ball was given away. Throw in Australia. Carpenter throw in. Kellen Knight. Van Egmond, 10 in the yellow and green of Australia. Off the chest. Van Egmond will receive it here. Savannah trying to go wider, and she's still able to get to that ball. And by the end line, driving it in, looks for Ford. It's deflected out. Australia keeping it. Played back by Simon. Gemma Simon. Australia loses it there. Horan tried to get to this ball, couldn't get it. Instead, it's Carpenter. Teammates with Portland in the NWSL. Kennedy. Australia's getting ready to make a change. Emily Gilmick is by the 4th official. On this right sideline, this is Carpenter. Into the box it comes. Laid off. Kellen Knight drives it. It's blocked. Rapinoe, left sideline. Long looping ball towards Morgan. Too much on it. Right to Lydia Williams. Good toss up the middle for Van Egmond. Pressure immediately from Rapinoe. Van Egmond does well. And then the switch. Flag will stay down. But it just got away from Devana.
Devana looks gassed on that far side.
She is coming out. She scored a terrific goal earlier.
Attention for substitution. Australia making its first change. Leading the game number
going off one of the new rules. She goes off closest to where she is. Doesn't have to come over to the 4th official. Here's what she did tonight.
Well, she had a beautiful goal. And it came from the pass of Caitlin Ford, who's running at that back line, forcing them to retreat, buying Devana some time and space, and lights it up.
Good night for Devana. At age 34, still can fly out there. There's Rapinoe. So each team has made the one change. Gilmick has scored 3 goals for Australia over the last 4 games.
Yeah, and you talk about efficiency. I've seen her game be incredibly efficient in that final third. She's going to drive at Emily Sonnet, try to go 1v1, and she can shoot with her right and left. Her service into the box is fantastic. So she's a potent player that's coming in for Devana.
Move to the right side. Here's Carpenter. 1v1 against Dunn. Carpenter apparently lost her footing. And then a bump on Dunn as she tried to win it back. It's ruled on Australia throw it. Australia, like the USA, good depth on their squad. Catley normally a starter out. Lagarzo a starter as well, out with injury. Not serious injuries, we're told. Carpenter, long throw in, near post, played across. It was a set piece, designed that way. Just didn't work the way they wanted it to. Simon, and that ball was out.
Something to keep an eye on, JP. In the last 2 attacks from Australia, there's been a separation from the United States between the front 3 and the midfield 3 and back 4. So there's been a big space in midfield that Australia has been actually able to set play out of, something that didn't happen in that first half.
Caitlin Ford pressuring the ball, almost won it. Fouled as she tried to recover it. Fouling Sonnet. Those 2 are teammates as well with Portland. Sam Kerr was telling us yesterday about all of that. Playing as teammates and as also as opponents of USA players has helped their game. As much as NWSL has helped the USA, it has also helped the other countries. That's to be expected.
You could argue Australia the most. What do all the coaches say of the opponents of the U.S. when we meet with them before these matches? The one thing about the U.S. that impresses them is their mentality. Not the only thing, the most prominent thing.
Ball's going to be coming back after that foul. Julie Ertz feeling it. 6th year in the NWSL with Chicago Red Stars. And the last World Cup, also the last Olympics for the U.S. A warrior out there, whether she's playing as a center back, which she did in 2015, or holding midfield as she plays now.
Or in training, just ask her teammates.
Ball knocked away. U.S. getting to it. Near the corner flag. The touchback. Played across. One flick. Rapinoe should get to this. She does. Nice move by Rapinoe. Then a shot. What a goal by Rapinoe. 3-2 U.S.
It's another individual moment of brilliance for the United States. This time it's Megan Rapinoe. Her first touch isn't great, but then she just shifts her hips, causes y'all up to hesitate, and that opens up the window for her to take that strike. But how about Mewis solving the pressure of 3 players on that far side? No, she doesn't connect with her teammate on that initial ball in, but then Rapinoe goes to work and tucks this one back in across her momentum. She's going across the goal, and she opts to slide it near post. Brilliant finish.
So forget about those low-scoring games between these two nations. That's gone. 5 goals in this one, and there's still almost a half hour to go.
What did we say coming in? We thought it was going to be an explosive affair.
Yep. 44th international goal in her 150th appearance for the U.S. Dunn. Cut back by Horan. Here's Crystal Dunn. Rapinoe. Ball played across. That's going to go out. Now again, it's game management, right? You talked about being able to close out a game. They're up 3-2. A lot of time left, but how do they manage this?
How do they handle these next 5 minutes first? And then, as you said, JP, close the match out. You have to limit your risk at this point when you're up 3-2. But I don't know if that's in the DNA of this side.
Williams almost gave it away. Ford, that's deflected. Kellen Knight pushing it forward. Australia settling it in their own half. They trail for the 2nd time tonight. Gilnick has help. Ford runs behind her. Ball was tackled away. U.S. recovers. Here they come. Morgan holding up play nicely. Ball clipped ahead by Ertz. Heath waiting for help. It's coming. Good job by Heath to keep it. Morgan. Kristen Press getting ready to come into the game. Headed wide. Mewis with the chance. Kristen Press for Lindsey Horan. So they told us 60 minutes for Horan. It ended up being a few minutes more. How did Horan do in her return?
The impact that I think we all anticipated. Her ability to make those runs, late runs out of midfield were fantastic. And maybe it's something I don't speak to enough, but the way she can go to ground, mix it up, and bring more brawn to the midfield is something that the U.S. lacked in the She Believes. And overall, just her intelligence to dictate play.
Kristen Press made an impact when she was coming off the bench during the She Believes Cup. One of those earlier games, an impact right away. One of her first touches, actually.
And I'll be curious to see, JP, if they actually shift to too low with Lewis and Ertz in the center midfield and allow press to be more of a 10 player sitting underneath the front three.
Right now, the reason for the stoppage in play, Rapinoe was down and being tended to by team officials. The U.S. looking towards this as a hydration break and probably a coaching moment as well, where they can gather their thoughts and talk about how they can close this one out. Big goal by Rapinoe, and what she did with it, from receiving the ball initially to freeing herself up for a shot, then a terrific shot that Williams had no chance at.
And that's just savviness in the final third. Goalkeeper oftentimes thinks you're going to try to bend that far post so you know she's leaning, and then you cut it back across that momentum, across your own momentum. Just difficult to adjust to. Here's a look in the middle of your screen. Rapinoe's trying to make that run in behind, and then she pulls up and grabs for that calf. She's had her fair share of injuries.
We're working on her now. But Mallory Pugh is up, another Colorado native. Presumably, she would just take Rapinoe's spot. And Australia are going to make a change as well. Haley Rasso appears to be the next sub. U.S. looking for Morgan. Down, throwing here for the U.S. So now we're going to get that substitution. Rapinoe's already out, so here's Mallory Pugh. Hometown fans realize she's from this area and give her the appropriate reception. Australia wants to make a change, but they've not made it yet. Off that throw in. Sana. Morgan. Inside the box, laid off again. An opportunity there. There's the goal. Her first touch. Mallory Pugh. Welcome home. Rasso coming into the game, Kellen Knight exiting. It's gone south now for Australia. After they were looking good when they got that go-ahead goal, they've conceded the next two. Mallory Pugh, in her first minute, her first touch really, scores to open up the game even more.
I don't think the crowd had stopped cheering for her when she came on, and that just continued right on into the celebration.
So the first time we've seen a two-goal lead tonight for either side.
Attention for substitution. Australia making it
U.S. back on the ball. Here's Dunn. Sauerbrunn.
Entering the game, number 16, Haley Rasso.
Morgan just got clipped and she pulls up and is down. Ball is coming wide, right side for Kerr. As play continues, Morgan still down. In the box, wrong side. It's going to go out. But now, the injury.
Well, first it's Rapinoe, and now it's Alex Morgan who goes to ground. It's a swipe there by Van Egmond as Alex Morgan tries to cut that ball back.
Tended to. We've seen a few U.S. players in this position tonight. Haran, Rapinoe, now Alex Morgan. His 100th international goal got the scoring started tonight. Mallory Pugh has that last goal that came in the 67th minute. She just got onto the field.
Yeah, but there was a brilliant play here by Alex Morgan. She's looking for a shot. She's trying to get a window of space. It's good defending that holds it up. And then a cheeky little backheel pass into Sonnet, who then lays it off. She dragged the defender centrally, and Mallory Pugh sees that space, lurches into it, and then there's a little work to be done. She's got to rifle this ball back across Williams. How about Emily Sonnet becoming a playmaker in the final third? We talk about a right back needing to make a defensive presence. Well, she assisted on the last goal, and she assisted on Tobin Heath's goal.
14th international goal for Mallory Pugh, who won't turn 21 until late April. Plays for the Washington Spirit. Morgan only on the sideline for a few seconds. Wants to get back on with the referee's permission, and now gets it. Kennedy dropping it back for Simon. Kennedy, a teammate of Alex Morgan's with Orlando.
This is a good look at the shape that the U.S. is taking up right now. It's a 4-1-4-1 system. Often used when the U.S. just wants to slow things down, preserve, in this case, their lead, but also their legs.
Long for Lasso, too long as Nair backs it up. Let's go downstairs. Danielle Slayton, what are you seeing? What are you hearing?
Well, Allie, you've got it exactly right. Jill Ellis just told me that they shifted into a 4-1-4-1, looking to see the game out from that formation, but also said it's important for them to continue to press, particularly when Australia is taking goal kicks, as that's when they've been vulnerable. She also said we may see a few more faces, players they're looking to evaluate ahead of France.
We'll get them in quick.
It's a fun game to come into as a player, I would think. When it's this wide open, it's going to be a goal kick coming up from there. Sonnet with one big assist on the goal by Mallory Pugh. In a position we don't see Sonnet in. She's inside the opponent's 18.
She's been positive with that attacking movement. You'd almost wonder if an Allie Krieger is going to get some time tonight.
Allie Krieger, Allie Long were two recent call-ups to this team. From what we were told yesterday, and it's not a final decision, but 2 more games, and then the U.S. hopes to announce their 23-player roster before the send-off series. So we're talking maybe May 12th.
And as a player, you like to have that comfort to know that you're in the squad. It relaxes everyone just enough.
You still make a change up to 24 hours before your first game. It's in case of an injury, obviously. You'd like to settle the squad and know that they've got a couple of games, 2 or 3 games left, where they know that this is the team. Tobin Heath over the ball. Heath with their 28th international goal earlier tonight. Goes in 3 straight games for Heath. Played it short. Done. End line. The cross. It falls. Press. Shot. Save Williams. That looked like the 5th goal for the U.S. Mallory Pugh bringing it back. Coming all the way back. It's a nice ball from Dahl-Kemper to Sonnet. Australia winning that ball, but giving it right back. Dunn. Heath. Heath going back to Sauerbrunn. Press. Coming back. Look where Heath is popping up now. And now it's Ertz clipping it ahead. Mallory Pugh on this left side, bringing it down. 1v1 at the moment. Sending it across. That's going to be deflected over Williams. Corner kick. U.S. dominated in the corners. 7-1 in the opening half. It's 9-1 now. Heath is ready. 4-2 USA lead over Australia. Sonnet with 2 assists on the night. Sends one up, looking for a third. Deflected to the near side. Too far, Rasso will get it. It's going to be a USA. Oh no, going to wait for the sub. Here's the player we were looking for. Mary Fowler. She's only 16 years of age. She'll replace Caitlin Ford, but everyone on Australia's side, Ali, from coach to teammates, very high on this young player.
Yeah, and she was someone that had actually opted to go with the Irish national team, and now she switched back to Australia. Never made that full switch to Ireland. And a young, exciting talent. Someone they say that has great instincts. Obviously athletic, good with both feet. They talk about her power pace.
They describe her as big and powerful, especially for someone that's only 16. We saw her make her debut against Brazil last year, and she was only 15. Fowler playing it up for Kerr. Good experience for Fowler to be playing in a game like this. They told us yesterday 100% chance that she was going to play. I thought maybe she'd get a few more minutes, but this seems right to bring her in now.
And Milicic had talked about wanting to see if there were certain players that can or cannot play in this environment. You've got to wonder if she's one of them that he's considering taking to the World Cup.
The Kerr pass. He wanted Fowler. She wanted it. Mewis. Second half sub for Rose Lavelle. Here's Kennedy for Australia. 4-2 USA over Australia. Late stages here. Commerce City, Colorado, Dick's Sporting Goods Park. Sellout crowd announced. On that right side, got away. It's still going to be a throw-in for Australia. It's been a memorable night. Alex Morgan with her 100th international goal got it all started. Australia actually ended up with a lead early in the second half, but since then, the U.S. has scored the next 3 goals. The Fowler pass ahead. Haley Rasso. Dunn stays with her. Rasso trying to bounce off. Dunn still stayed with her. It's a goal kick. Good defending.
Rasso's not happy with it. She's pleading with the sideline ref.
It's going to be a goal kick coming up for Alyssa Nair. We're hearing that Tierna Davidson will be the next USA sub. We'll see where she plays when she comes in. Sonnet with it. Laid off. That's going to be blocked. Out for a throw-in. '78th minute, 4-2. U.S. over Australia. U.S. will take on Belgium Sunday in Los Angeles. And then we'll see them play South Africa here on Fox May 12th. So who is Davidson coming in for? It is Sonnet. Normally Davidson doesn't play as a right back, so let's see what they do. Good night, though, for Sonnet.
Yeah, I think so. And we talk about who can shore up that position if Kelly O'Hara is not available. Well, Emily Sonnet made a decent case for herself offensively. I think defensively, still a lot of questions. Her positioning on that opening goal for Australia was more than suspect. But sometimes it's the communication that can help a player get to that next level and give her the confidence to go and close.
79th minute. 4-2 U.S. into the box. It's off Mewis and then Dunn. And now Heath went down. Cleared back the other way. Davidson knotting it down. Van Egmond. looking for Kerr. Sam Kerr bouncing away. The far side, here is Australia, looking to get themselves back into the game. One goal could do it. Lifted up by Simon. Too close to nail. 80th minute. US 4, Australia 2. 3 unanswered goals. Heath, Rapinoe, and Pugh in that order. Coming all the way back. Williams, short for Kennedy. Van Egmond. Wide for Rasso. Strong run from Carpenter to the end line. Almost lost it. Kept it in. Defended by Davidson. Rasso curling one out for Kerr. Header, go! Australia's back with Kerr's first against the U.S. Four, 3. Well, she was overdue.
And she's been quiet in this second half. Very few touches for Sam Kerr, but you give her a window and she's going to feast on it.
The 31st international goal.
It's good work here on this near side by Carpenter, just to hold up the ball, drag that second defender, Kristen Press. That gives the time and space for Rasso to line that ball up, and Kerr sitting between the right center back, and the right back and done. And then just attacks it at the right moment. No big celebration. Goal. She knows her team's not up. Alex Morgan came out. Ali Long, who does not play a similar position, has come in. So let's see. Imagine Press would go on top. But where does Long fit in this defensive scheme? 82nd minute. U.S. is trying to close this one out. They had a 4-2 lead. They just conceded a third goal. That was Fowler playing it across. They gave up 3 goals in the first game this year to France, losing 3-1. Pugh, long run, too far for her. The 82nd minute. Big players come up big in games like this. Sam Kerr has done that. Could have had a couple of goals in the first half. Didn't deter her. She knew she was frustrated with her misses. But she gets a big one right now. It is a big one because she's never scored against the U.S. and you're going to have that mental advantage going into a World Cup knowing that you had put one in the back of the net. JP, it's 4-3. These are two teams that people have pegged to win the World Cup. Defense is a big issue for both of them.
Tobin Heath will take this corner. Short for Dunn. Into the box, the header. White at Williams. Williams with the toss for Van Egmond. Can the U.S. close this one out? 83rd minute, up by a goal, 4-3. In a game that was pretty much wide open right from the start. Carter Lloyd is getting up. Looks like she'll be the next sub for the U.S. Throw it here for Dunn. Up for Press. Pushed back by Pugh. Turn to Davidson. And the legs get tangled. That's going to be a foul. Polkinghorne and Mewis. The card is out. Second booking of the night.
And she's saying, for what? It looked like they just got tangled up.
I think that's all it was. Foul, yes.
Credit Mewis there. Just the inside-out run, and it's a little nudged. Wouldn't Carter, though.
Big free kick here. About 22 yards away. 3 in the wall. It's pushed back by 10 yards. Tobin Heath ready. Puts one up. Second ball. Pugh got a head to it. Now it's cleared away. Down by Sauerbrunn. Looks like Dunn is now pretty much the right back with Davidson over on this left side. Long fitting in the midfield. Long up. It's going to be blocked out for a U.S. corner. All right, here's the change. The defender, center back, Dahlkemper's coming out for a target player in Carly Lloyd. So someone's moving their position.
Well, I'm not going to pretend to know the answer until I see it with that substitution, because usually you don't make that if you're trying to hold out a game. But my guess would be Ert slides into the back line.
Lloyd getting a nice ovation as she comes on. Carly with 105 international goals. Heath taking her time with this. Curling in swinger. Lloyd was going up for it. It bounces free and out. Throwing for the U.S. Lloyd is wearing that captain's armband now. Jenna Davidson will be entering her rookie season in the NWSL as a #1 pick. Her team now, Chicago Red Stars. Ertz dropping back to a position where she played very well in the 2015 Women's World Cup. Australia have a player down as Kerr played it back. And the foul. They're going to bring it back. I think for the injury. That player's up now. Press pleading her case. 87th minute, 4-3, U.S. over Australia. We expected goals. To be honest, we didn't expect 7.
We did not.
Upcoming schedule. Belgium on Sunday. We'll have that game for you on Fox. May 12th versus South Africa. Then New Zealand and Mexico. Mexico will be the final game of that send-off series from Red Bull Arena. Long ball from Australia. Allowed to bounce. Gilman. Carpenter. Plays it across. Off one flick. Settle there. Oh, off the face. And play has been stopped in the 88th minute. Tamika Yala that took that one square in the face, it looked like. It's her first game playing with the name of Yala, recently married. Used to be known as Tamika Butt, scored a big goal to beat the U.S. in 2017 in Seattle. The last time that the U.S. lost on home soil.
Here's a look at it. Tamika Butt's trying to line that shot up. Studs up by Lloyd there. It's the deflection that catches Tamika Yallop, excuse me.
The club team is from Norway. A veteran of this team has been involved in a couple of World Cups. Assuming she's on the roster, this will be her 3rd in France. Katrina Gorey, who missed the Australian Cup of Nations with an injury, is ready to make her return. So Yallop's night is over. Gorey will come in.
I think Yallop was actually one of the players that suffered in the system that Milicic opt to employ tonight. Usually she's really good in the center of the park with those late runs out in midfield and difficult for the opposition to track. She was isolated on the far side more often than not.
So Gorey is going to come in. If you're wondering, this is one of the new rules that will be implemented. They're using it now, where when you're subbed out, you don't have to go to the fourth official. You go out the closest you are to the sideline. Nair will put it back into play. Going long towards press. Made by Kennedy. Lloyd. For Dunn. Ertz. That's off Kennedy. 90th minute, a 4-3 game, a thriller from Colorado. Big collision there. Let's see what the referee's going to do. Yellow card's out.
And the U.S. had slid Allie Long into the back line. Looks like they're in a 5-back system at this point in the match. She's the one who laid that challenge in on Sam Kerr. It's her and Mewis collapsing on Kerr.
Mewis almost took Long out too. Sam Kerr's goal has brought Australia back within one.
The fourth official on the sideline has indicated a minimum of 5 minutes.
5 minutes in stoppage time.
Another opportunity for the U.S. to work on their game management.
Could be a long 5. Played just outside the box. U.S. winning it. Hugh for press. Pushed back by Lloyd. Dunn. It's taken away by Simon. Australia can't give the ball away like that. Not at this stage. They're trying to climb back into this. Kennedy. It's deflected. Not close enough to Kerr.
Nor should the U.S. They don't need to go forward.
Solid run clearance. That's coming back the other way. Off Mewis. Then Lloyd ruled the handball.
If you're going to play that ball forward, get it over that back line. Don't make it then in turn a 50-50 ball that you're going to have to fight for coming the other direction.
Rasso setting it up. U.S. won the first ball and the second. They needed the third. And it's moved out. Right between the benches, it will go out of play. Milicic wants to get that one back quickly. Van Egmond. Carpenter. She's had a pretty good night. Rasso. Carpenter overruns it. Blocked out. USA's ball. 3rd minute of stoppage time. Minimum of 5 put on the board. Rasso recently back from a serious injury. 3 vertebrae were broken. There were some fears that she wouldn't even be able to walk again, much less play, and scored a goal for Australia about 6 months after she came back. Carpenter. Another throw in. And Carpenter. We saw that long throw in that she had earlier in the game. All but a couple of players in that 18-yard area for Australia. There's a long throw towards the middle. Didn't get far enough, but Carpenter will have another go at it, this time off the right foot. Puts one in. It's deflected out. Van Egmond shanked it. Will this ball stay in play? It does, with a good effort from Goring. All the way back. Poking on to Carpenter. Rasso. Fowler playing it back. It's deflected. Cleared out. Rasso tags this one. It's up there. Nair grabs it.
Nair's done well coming off her line tonight.
Carpenter. Into the middle for Van Egmond. About a minute or so left. Rasso's after it. Nair off the line. Just kill some more time. Rasso just got a verbal warning. Karen Apt. As Nair clears that one. That's a kick at altitude. Here's Pugh with a chip. Mallory Pugh's got her second. Game over now. That is one heck of a chip.
And one heck of a service from Alyssa Nair. Look how far that goes. Assist to a goalkeeper. And deft touch by Mallory Pugh for her second of the night. Williams well off her line. Makes it an easy finish for Mallory Pugh. But I can't get over the goalkeeper assist. You gotta love it. 8 goals, JP.
That's right, that's right. Terrific night, as it turns out, for the U.S. They gave up 3, but they scored 5, including one by Alex Morgan. Mallory Pugh had 2 goals on the night. Terrific night for her as she returned home to Colorado. Also, Alex Morgan with her 100th international goal. Plenty more to come your way from Colorado, so come back with us here on Fox.
At Farmers, we've seen almost everything, so we know how to cover almost anything, even rooftop parking. Strange forces at work? Only if you're referring to gravity. And we covered it. Talk to farmers. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
At Domino's, we love pizza as much as you do. That's why we're giving you Piece of the Pie rewards points for eating any pizza from anywhere.
Pizza from here?
Yep.
How about from here?
That's right.
Homemade pizza?
I guess.
Homemade pizza?
That's a little better.
New York style.
Deep dish. Any pizza.
Download the Domino's app, scan any pizza, and you could earn 10 Piece of the Pie rewards points toward free Domino's. That means double points when you scan medium 2-topping Domino's pizzas, just $5.99 each when you order 2 or more.
SUV. These letters used to mean something. Letters earned in backwoods, high hills, and steep dunes. But somewhere along the way, SUVs became pretenders, not pioneers. But you never forgot the difference, and neither did we. There are many SUVs, but there's only one legend. Legends aren't born, they're made.
Chili's 3 for $10 presents our signature sirloin steak, aged to perfection and served with a starter and drink for just $10. Out with the cousins and Aunt Nancy, who is politely described as a free spirit. Together, we Chili's.
Germany's biggest club match, the Klassiker.
Bayern Munich, Dortmund. The Bundesliga, Saturday at noon Eastern on Fox.
Now that I'm banking with Chime, I get paid up to 2 days early with direct deposit.
Wow, I wish I was banking with Chime.
Aw, thanks.
Get paid up to 2 days early. Start banking at Chime.com.
These folks, they don't have time to go to the post office. They have businesses to grow, customers to care for, lives to get home to. They use Stamps.com. Print discounted postage for any letter, any package, anytime, right from your computer. All the amazing services of the post office, only cheaper. Get our special TV offer, a 4-week trial plus postage and a digital scale. Go to stamps.com/try and never go to the post office again.
Hi, I'm Jesse. And I'm Ben. We started Hubble because contact lenses are too expensive. At Hubble, our fresh daily contacts are affordable and delivered straight to you. Get your first 2 weeks free at HubbleContacts.com.
A global legend and soccer royalty, Wayne Rooney leads DC United against Carlos Vela and LAFC. DC United, LAFC, Saturday at 2:30 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
64 days away from the opening of the World Cup in France, and Alexi Lalas personally guarantees every game of the World Cup will be exactly as entertaining as this one. 8 goals tonight here in Denver, shared between the U.S. and Australia, the first of which was history. Alex Morgan's 100th international goal, making her one of 7 Americans to reach that milestone. We'll get our recap thoughts of our panel on a fun night in Denver coming up after the break.
Continental tires are built for the road, connecting you to all of life's adventures. Whether you drive to live or live to drive, Continental tires deliver the performance you need to tackle those adventures with confidence. Continental Tire, for what you do.
Oh, appreciate you recommending these stormproof windows.
No problem. I'm always thinking ahead.
Look under the couch. You look under the couch.
I'll help you deal with this. Well, the windows still look good.
With no choice but to move back home after college, they thought he'd be a little more motivated to find a job. Turns out, they were right. Upload your resume on Indeed.
March Madness got you doing the What Just Happened whale? Pick up a pepperoni stuffed pizzone. That's right, people. It's back. Now part of the $5 lineup from Pizza Hut. Official pizza of March Madness.
Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste. Pleased to meet you. Hope you guess my name. Come on, come on. What's my name? What's my name? What's my name?
A fantastic marching band, national champions, and a real delight. Free Bird! Seeing here perform. Free Bird! I don't think they're taking your requests. Please play Free Bird!
Every band knows it. They're dying to play it.
Just okay is not okay, whether it's announcers or wireless networks. AT&T is America's best wireless network, according to America's biggest test. Now with 5G evolution, the first step to 5G. More for your thing. That's our thing.
Coming up next is MLB Whip Around with my guys, the Hall of Famer Frank Thomas, D-Train, Dontrell Willis. Got a lot to do. The Cubs really struggling in Atlanta. The Indians, could they throw a no-hitter today? We'll show you. It's MLB Whip Around. See you next.
Megan Rapinoe scored twice against Australia in the USA's opening match of the last World Cup. She scored tonight on her 150th career appearance and was speaking just moments ago with Danielle.
Megan, at the end of the She Believes Cup, you talked about how the team struggled to see out games and how there was a little bit of a lack of bite in midfield. What's your assessment of those two factors in this game here tonight?
I mean, we still can't let that many goals in. Obviously, we want to clean that up, but they're a great attacking team, so you got to give them credit. I think we showed a lot more heart and a lot more fight just to kind of keep going and keep going. Obviously, offensively, we are clicking tonight. It's huge having players come off the bench like Mal and getting that. Obviously, in her hometown, it's amazing, but in the World Cup, like, that's what we're going to need. No one player is going to be able to play every single game, every single minute, and we have firepower like that coming off the bench. That's huge for us.
Thanks. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Well, fans of a certain vintage will remember there was a time U.S. Soccer had a theme song entitled Goals, Goals, Goals. We got that tonight. 2 months from a World Cup, a good test against a top team. What do you take away from this one?
Well, we talked about the win and the significance of it, and they got that. The problem is they gave up so many goals, and teams are going to start to expose our back line and our outside backs. However, positives, how many goals they scored, how many players contributed tonight. Also, the midfield, Lindsey Horan, the presence she had, things are clicking. You could tell there was chemistry out there, but the biggest takeaway for me is how they're going to respond to this game and what they're going to do in the next 2 months.
I agree. My takeaways are they found a way to win, right? Their top 3 scored a goal. We got Alex, Tobin, and Pino. They got to rest a little bit. We saw the substitutions come in, game changers, Mallory Lepew, and as well as Sam Lewis, I thought was a great addition coming through in the midfield, and I thought it was a good attacking performance. We still need to work on the defensive unit.
Can't win a World Cup if you're letting in goals like that right now. If you want to go, Jill Ellis, you want to go to the World Cup this summer and just try to outgun and outscore teams, you're going to come up against somebody that can score more goals than you, or you're going to come up against somebody that gets better defending you. It is a problem. They cannot be letting in these types of goals.
They will finish this camp Saturday in Los Angeles, a Sunday, I should say, against Belgium, and Jill Ellis expects to have the roster finalized before May the 12th, our next game on the Fox Network, let alone 64 days from now when the World Cup opens up in France. All those matches live across Fox Sports as the U.S. tries to defend their title. Well, a fun night tonight. Sellout crowd paid for the whole seat. They only needed the edge. 8 goals shared between the U.S. and Australia. The good thing is the U.S. got 5 of them. For Alexi, for Christy, for Leslie, for JP and Allie in the booth, and Danielle on the sideline. I'm John Strong. MLB Whip Around is next. Until we talk to you again, it's good night here from Denver.
MLB Whip Around on the air one more time. Good to see you. Baseball coming your way for the next hour with my guy, the Big Hurt, the Hall of Famer, Frank Thomas, D-Train, Dontrell Willis, and I'm Kevin Burkhardt. We got a lot to do, but Train, I'm just curious. I'm a little worried because I don't know if our compadre watched any baseball. He's been watching car chases all day here in Los Angeles.
Yeah, it's been an intriguing day today, but the commentator from Big Hurt has been fun. It's been keeping us up. We got a late show today, so
they said 8 car chases in 24 hours. I've never heard anything like that in my life.
No, they don't do that in Chi-Town. It's L.A., baby.
Oh, unbelievable.
Yeah, it's
kind of scary.
If you ever need a commentator, Frank's really good at it by now. He just did the last 3 for us right here in the studio. Headlines tonight. Why don't we take a little look around baseball? Oh, how about a rehab start for AAA Oklahoma City for Clayton Kershaw? With that, how soon will he actually be back to the bigs? How about the injury-plagued Yankees putting on a power display at Camden Yards? And could Yu Darvish bounce back in Atlanta to help the Cubs snap a 4-game losing streak? Why don't we start right there and find out? Cubs need something, and they need something from Yu Darvish, right?
Yes,
Gave him all that money. He hasn't shown it yet. He had 7 walks his last start against his former team, the Rangers. And you know what? He was wild again here tonight, but here he gets some D from Anthony Rizzo. So that will help. Let's go to the 4th. Runners in the corners. Brian McCann up against Darvish.
Sweet. I've seen this many times playing against Mr. McCann. He can't throw a lousy slider in the zone because he's going to wear it out all day long. Big
got to bury it down by the foot of the left-hander. You can't leave it in the middle of the play.
Next play, Dansby Swanson. He does not get the bunt down. Ozzie Albies comes home and blocking of the play by Contreras.
Train, what happened to the block rule there? That was an old-school block.
Yeah, he didn't give him a lane to slide, and I was wondering if they're going to review this, but they didn't. And
how can they not?
Almost got him hurt. Almost got himself hurt, too. So
he's going to step slide, hands first, right into home plate. Meanwhile, the pitcher, Train Max Fried, got robbed.
Oh, don't do the pitcher like that. Full extension.
Great play.
That was an excellent play by Schwarby out there. But Fried, maybe he didn't get the base hit there, but he was fantastic on the mound today.
Man, I thought we saw Blake Snell get traded to Atlanta the way his stuff was coming out. Fastball anywhere from 94 to 97, and that nasty whooper-duper. Check that baseball.
It's got a future.
I like his stuff.
Perfect game through 5 innings for him. Braves up 1-0. Here is Markakis off of Tyler Chatwood. It's a bullet. Runs are coming in. Markakis, by the way, 5 for 5 with 5 RBIs, and just like that, it's 5-zip Atlanta.
Have a night veteran.
My, oh my. 6th inning. Fried still doing his thing with a perfect game, but he leaves one up a little bit. Mark Zagunis plops one in. The perfect game is over.
Yeah, that might have been the worst breaking ball he threw all night, but he was nasty. He was superb. Like watching this guy walk.
Even in the rain that was coming down at SunTrust Park, fans are feeling it. Fried started a little bit last year, but he has feeling big things ahead. He came over a couple years ago on the Justin Upton trade, and now we're starting to see the fruits of that trade. So there it is. The Cubs have lost 5 in a row. The Braves just wiped the mat with them this series. So it happens. You're going to lose a bad series, but the Cubs look bad right now. But I think the real question and the real concern is with you, Darvish, right?
Absolutely.
I'm just wondering, since the world, remember, for the Dodgers, he was good 2 years ago. The playoffs, he was good. World Series, he was not good. What's happened since then? It's like he can't find the strike zone.
He pitches too fine with his stuff. And what I mean by that is he tries to hit the corners early in the count, and he falls behind. He puts himself in hitter-friendly counts. And so he'll be 1-0, 2-0, and then he has to come across the plate. And then if he doesn't want to come across the plate, he loses the batter. So it's either a hard hit ball or a walk. He needs to trust his fastball more, pitch and try to get early contact. 1, it keeps your defense in it, and 2, it keeps your pitch counts down. Every start you see him pitching, he's always has these pitch counts really high, and he's only getting to 4, maybe 5 innings. He needs to be more aggressive. He throws way too hard, and he needs to throw the center of the plate, maybe a little movement with his fastball, and get some early contact. But it's going to continue if he continues to pitch that fine.
To me, it looks like my observation is he's not establishing the fastball early in the count to get to his breaking stuff. Guys are sitting on his breaking ball now. He has an excellent breaking ball. You can tell they're sitting on it now, and they're making a lot of damage with him. He's got to get back to being confident with his fastball, and it will open up. It'll make his breaking ball a lot better.
Absolutely.
To both of your points, he threw 28 fastballs tonight, 11 for strikes. That's it.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, you got to get your fastball over,
Absolutely.
right? As both of you are talking about it, and Darvish just not doing. The Cubs are reeling right now. Not a great start to the season for them. Let's continue on. Going on right about now. How about it's the Angels and the Rangers? Rangers playing well. Angels are not. They're 1-5 to start the year. It's their home opener tonight. Matt Harvey on the mound.
Oh, my
Joey
goodness.
Gallo crushed.
Like power. This guy can hit it a long way if he misses the middle plate with fastball.
Well, he does have 81 home runs the last 2 years coming into this year. And I'm not sure what he's doing there.
He hit it off the front of the end of the bat, and he still muscled it.
That's the end of the bat? Here's Ronald Guzman. So this one initially called foul, but Guzman says, hang on, let's look at this.
Hey.
You know what? He was right.
Nice little call. You can't be stealing them hitters' homers. They know it. Oh!
Right off the pole.
Wow.
How did they miss that?
Great eyes.
So Matt Harvey disgusted. We were watching. Actually, looked like he had a decent stuff in that first inning, but he's down 5-0, all right? So, Logan Forsythe at the plate. Runner on second. 1 out, Mike Trout. Unload, Mike.
Good one. Woo!
Oh, yeah.
That's beautiful. That's textbook. Nice little one-hopper, easy for the catcher to receive.
I really don't know what that third base coach was thinking there with your big first baseman trying to score on Mike Trout.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, I'm going to go with there. And then Trout doing what he normally does against Edison Volquez. Gone. First of the year for Trout.
No, thank you.
Mike.
No, thank you.
No, thank you, huh?
No, thank you.
He's staying for another 12 years.
Yeah, I mean, Mike's amazing.
That's awesome.
You know, I've been thanking everybody else for 400-something. Bad luck continues for the Yankees. Shortstop Troy Tulowitzki becoming the 11th player New York has placed on the injured list so far. Tulo left last night's game with a left calf strain, and you guys know those are not easy to come back from. So there you go. Tyro Estrada called up from the minors to replacements. How did the Yankees do today? Tulo blowing a bubble. James Paxton on the hill in Baltimore. Not a good first inning. Big Maple. Jonathan Villar gone.
That's just a great piece of hitting there by Villar because that ball was painted on the outside black.
Absolutely.
Then it got worse. Paxton, wild pitch. Renato Nunez comes in to score. 3-0 Baltimore.
Sanchez has got to block that ball, especially with runners in scoring position.
He didn't do it. However, what do we got here? Oh, baby.
Young superstar. Not surprised with this guy's success. High first-round draft pick. Everybody was talking about him. The Cubs didn't want to trade him. You're seeing it. Why not now?
Yeah, that was great.
Release him.
This is Gary Sanchez.
The Kraken. And he can miss-hit a baseball big hurt and still muscle it out of any ballpark.
Ooh. When you're feeling it, you're feeling it.
Oh, yeah.
Torres' second time today.
4 for 4, 4 RBIs, couple home runs.
That's some bat speed right there, man.
He got on top of that ball.
So the Yankees feeling good, hitting some long balls, showing their power. Chris Davis not feeling good. Bottom of the 6th inning, same score. He's up, runner on first. Listen.
Oh, my. You're at home.
He's 0 for 17 and 11 strikeouts on the year. He went his final 21 at-bats last year. It's a mess.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a mess right now. Here's Aaron Judge. He didn't have a great night. He struck out 4 times.
He didn't look himself. He didn't look himself in the play. He's not comfortable.
Luke Voigt says, you know what, I like this long ball party.
Ooh. Got him too upset.
He's not going to make a living trying to hit that ball up and in 96 miles an hour with that type of movement.
But we had to watch Judge strike out. Gone. Second of the year for him. You know what that means. 25 more bench press reps for Luke Voigt.
One arm.
That's what, all with one arm. That's what's coming. 8-4. Yankees get the win, and maybe, just maybe, they were pressing a little bit with all these injuries. Let's hear from Luke Voigt.
I gotta have fun. I was putting too much pressure, and you know, obviously with all the injuries and stuff, there's more pressure on us. But just trying to do too much instead of being myself, and at the end of the day, it's gonna come around, and I just had to smile and have fun, and play a little kid's game.
Labor Day. It was impressive. He came up big in certain situations where we needed someone to come up with a big hit for us and kind of, change the tides a little bit. He did that for us. We had a couple of guys get on with singles and, worked to count, was able to get a homer, a couple of homers, and that's huge for us, especially in this situation, getting down early and just fighting back the whole game. He was a catalyst of this win for us.
Well, we told you 11 guys on the injury list. That's a ton of guys. But, the Yankees aren't exactly the poor. They have a lot of guys who are still left, as we saw today. So who, Frank, in your opinion, has really got to carry this thing while all these guys are on the injured list?
Well, we got a lot of people in the tub, but they're so deep. This lineup is not hurting at all offensively. Judge, Sanchez, Torres, Voigt, Frazier, Gardner, these guys can rake. These are hard first-round draft picks. They're superstars. They're all-star caliber. They're fine offensively. Only thing worries me with